So let's talk about the dreaded cold call. Nobody likes them, at least traditionally. Nobody likes making them. Nobody likes receiving them. But mark my words, timestamp this. I'm making this Thursday, April 18th, 2024. I think you will see cold calls making a comeback because of the use of technology, especially AI. A friend of mine that I've had on the podcast, a great guy in the commercial real estate space, was sharing some numbers from his own AI that he has created and launched this week. Sent 225 emails in 15 minutes. Made something like 25 calls in that time frame as well. I did the math. With 33 million businesses in the U.S., I calculated that if 10% of those businesses sent emails 12 hours a day, so starting at 8 a.m. Pacific or 8 a.m. Eastern, ending at 5 p.m. Pacific, then something like 9.3 trillion emails would be sent in a year just from those companies. And already we get 3.7 trillion emails, 3.7 trillion a year. I think 9.8 billion are sent every day. So if 10% of businesses did his kind of volume, it's going to triple the number of emails. I mean, we're just going to be inundated. And so like anything, when everybody does it, it's no longer unique. So now you must do what stands out. I zig when they zag. Oh, really? That means you may have to start making some cold calls. Now, I've been fortunate hosting the sales podcast now since 2013. I've had some legends on the show, including Jeffrey Gitomer. Great guy, great salesman. I remember reading his little red book of sales. I got most of them all right there. The little red book of selling. And I remember my boss got it. The CEO of a company I was working for was a tech startup back in 2004 in Austin. He bought it for all of us. I think he saw it in the airport. And, one of the opening lines is kick your own ass. So I was like, okay, I like Jeffrey. But, on the podcast, we talked about cold calling, and he called it gold calling. And I agree. But in today's day and age, at least in B2B, and really I think in anything, but in B2B, there should not be anything even closely resembling a cold call. Now, granted, the technical term is the recipient isn't expecting your call. They don't know you. They didn't request information, so you're calling them. Okay, fine. But in reality, you should be doing some homework. There should be a reason to call this company, okay? And so when you do that, that high-tech company I was working with, that's what moved me out here to California. We sold technology with a niche in healthcare, manufacturing, financial services, and the government. And so my niche that got me out here was healthcare and a little bit of financial services. And so when I was calling on a client, and I had a hospital back then at Redlands Hospital. So when I was coming out to see them, I would call other hospitals in the area, CIOs, IT directors, and say, hey, I'm going to be in the area. I'm working with Redlands Hospital on X, Y, and Z. Are you suffering from the same problem? Are you experiencing the same issues? Would you be interested in seeing how they are improving uptime in the operating room, how they are securing the desktop to be compliant with HIPAA, how they are helping sterilize the ER and the OR by removing dirty, dust-ridden PCs, removing them from the operating room, but giving them full features and functionality and uptime, right? So I'd give them a few little nuggets, and yes, they were interested. When you have a reason to call, they perk right up. Yes, we don't want a cold call. We don't want some random crapshoot throwing things against the wall and hoping that it sticks. But when you have a clear reason, when you have experience, when you have current customers that you're helping in that industry or that niche, they're going to perk up. Yeah, you're going to catch people at a bad time. People are dumb. I mean, they'll answer the phone on the toilet, in the middle of a meeting. Yeah, and you'll see them get mad. I'm in the middle of a meeting. Call me later. Well, why'd you answer the phone, fool? But I digress. Okay. But don't let those people get you down. They're crazy. All right. We're crazy people. So you need to have a reason, and you need to have a good opening line. You need to have a hook. That's true with anything. It's true with movie trailers, with books, with whatever. You got to have a hook. The headline. Why do they call it above the fold? Because back in the day, I can't remember last time I had a newspaper, but back in the day, newspapers were folded in half. So the important stuff was above the fold. And if it bleeds, it leads. So an interesting picture, big headline. Why do they have that? So you reach in your pocket, pull out a quarter, 50 cents, I don't know, $12.50 now for a damn newspaper. Pull it out of the machine and then read the rest of the paper. Okay, so then the less important things were below the fold and then deeper in. That's fine. But you need that hook. You need that headline. What's the purpose of a headline? To get them to read the first sentence. What's the purpose of the first sentence? To get them to read the second. All the way through. I have a program called Make Every Sale, and I say to make any sale, you must make every sale. The headline has to hook them. The opening line has to hook them. The picture has to hook them. You need a caption that ties into that. That hooks them. It pulls them deeper and deeper in. I'll make a video about that later. But anyway, so your opening is the hook. All right. So again, it shouldn't be a truly cold call. So my son is in real estate. He sent me a video of a guy that teaches realtors how to grow their business, and they're making cold calls. They're calling for sale by owners. They're calling for rent by owners. And I was breaking down the video for my son, and I'm going to start helping him with his real estate business. And what the guy does is very good. When he was calling a person that had a for rent by owner. And, my son's like, well, yeah, it's kind of like, it's sales 101. I'm like, yes, the verbiage, what he's saying is sales 101, but his demeanor, when I say how to hold the frame, I may have gotten that from Oren Claff. I don't know, but I had Oren on the podcast as well. I did a review of his book, Pitch Anything. He talks about frames, an A frame, a B frame, the moral frame. There's different frames. Some are better than others. But and his point in that, I take it from the Bible, right? Saying, when two or more are gathered in my name, there I am. Well, when two or more people meet, a sale is made. Period. I don't care what it is. I can meet my wife and go, hey, where do you want to eat? Oh, I don't care. What do you want to eat? Oh, you know what? I want a hamburger. No, I don't feel like a hamburger. I want Mexican. All right. One of us has to sell the other. And where are we eating? When a salesperson calls, hey, do you have a minute? Hey, this is a cold call. You have 30 seconds, 27 seconds. That's from another podcast. 27 seconds. Tell you why I'm calling. You decide if we talk anymore. No, I don't have time. Yeah, go ahead. You have 27 seconds. Those are frames, right? Who's making that sale at that moment? So anytime two people meet, a sale is made, period. But anyway, so the guy's making the call. His demeanor, and I've always taught my clients, if nothing else, I'd rather you have the demeanor of, maybe the doctor's office is calling, or your attorney's office is calling, your doctor's office is calling. Hey, may I speak to Joe? No, Joe's not in. Hey, this is Dr. Smith's office. We have the results of his test. Could you please have us give us a call back? Or you reach him on the phone. Hi, Joe. This is Wes over at Dr. Joe's office. Do you have a moment? We got your test results back. So it's not up and down. It's a definitive. It's not, we have your results. Do you have a minute? It's not inquisitive. It's not curious. It's not demeaning. I don't know the word. Like I'm not lowering myself. It's matter of fact. Hey, we did your analysis. We've got the returns. We have a few questions before we file your returns. Please give us a call back. Boom, 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 boom. So this guy on the phone was very specific. Joe, yep. Hey, Joe, this is Wes. I'm a realtor. I'm calling about your rental property, 123 Main Street. Is that still available? So, and then he shut up, and he spoke quickly, but not fast. He spoke clearly. He spoke firmly and definitively, and then he shut up. And he let the other guy process it and answer the question. And then he got into it. We all hate those things. Yes, Wes, this is such and such from the NRA or whatever. This is on a recorded call. Hi, we really hate what the government's doing, blah, blah, blah. And they never let you chime in. Nobody likes that. That's a cold call. Nobody likes that. So don't do that, okay? But when you want to own the frame, when you want to set things up in your favor, now you got to remember, fewer people are making calls now than ever. It's hard to get through. I get it. More people are on their cell phones now. They're working from home. You need a good database. I'll talk about voicemails in another video. But you need to have a voicemail. You need to have a series of voicemails. You need to have a series of emails. You need to have a series of text messages. I recommend a series of direct mail, like physical mail. You need to have a way to engage them online, multimedia, multi-touch. You can send tools. You can send videos. I've had BombBomb and some of their executives on the Sales Podcast and the CRM Sushi Podcast. So sending video emails. You need to do all the above. Okay. But fewer people are using real calls. I get cold calls. Most of them are automated. They are not personalized. They are junk. When a good call comes through, it's amazing. At least start engaging. I usually don't call them back. I'll text them back. Had a guy on yesterday that has a company that does this multimedia, multi-step outreach, including live human calls. And text messaging is valid. They're getting a 17% connection rate on calls. That's decent. If you're doing it and you need to do it and you're relying upon it, you'll get better. Okay, so you got to figure out how to start doing it. If you need help, let me know. But again, when you open, you need to be clear. You need to be firm, but not a jerk. You need to enunciate. Slow it down if you have to. A lot of people, they talk too fast, and a confused mind says no. If I answer the phone and you're just rattling, it's irritating. So I'm already like, oh, I called. I want to answer this. Oh, hell, it's a sales call. Oh, it's a prattling, rattling, speed demon. I'm really kicking myself in the ass for answering this call. So set the odds in your favor. Okay. If you're a human and you treat your prospect as a human, you will connect. All right. We're tired of being treated like a number. We're tired of the blast. I have thousands of emails in my inbox. I think I delete probably 10 for every one that I read. The auto dialers, the spam. It's just, I hear a guy, just before I sat down to record this, a dude messaged me on LinkedIn. We connected in 2017. We haven't connected really since. And he just sent a message saying, what's up? Just a cool dude, does art. His business has grown, relocated from New York to Dallas. I'm like, hey, dude, I will check your stuff out tomorrow. Okay. I got some things going on. Got to make this video. I've got a school board meeting, got jujitsu tonight. I'm like, I will. And I've already went to his website. So we like connecting with other humans. We like connecting with other humans that treat us like humans. But we're so caught up and bogged down in the numbers game that we stop seeing our prospects as humans. We come out with that commission breath. And a prospect can smell commission breath from a mile away, even upwind. So have a good opening. Have a reason to call. Speak clearly. Speak definitively. Wrap it up with a question so they have to answer. Okay? Be thorough, be concise in your delivery. I recommend you have a few talking points, a few benefits. You're kind of planting the seed. Like in my world, because it's kind of like chumming the waters, if you will. If you ever go deep sea fishing, you'll notice they set a bunch of hooks. A bunch of lines are out there, different heights, different depths. You don't know where the fish exactly are. You don't need them to hit all 4 or 8 or 10 lines, just one. But you got to stack the odds in your favor. Hey, I work with sales managers. I work with IT companies, who that are frustrated, upset, concerned, and angry. Those are the four, right? With sales managers in IT department or tech companies that are frustrated with salespeople not making enough calls. They're upset that despite giving them the tools, a robust tech stack of databases and email and multimedia technology, they're still not hitting their numbers. They're concerned. Do they even have the right people in place, let alone in the right seats doing the right things? And some of them are just downright angry. But despite all their efforts, bending over backward, the late nights, the long hours, pouring their heart and soul into this business, that they're just downright angry that they may not hit their goals, certainly on their current track. I don't suppose you're wrestling. I don't suppose you're grappling. I don't suppose you're dealing with any of those kind of issues, are you? All right, so you can play with it, but the frustrated, upset, concerned, angry, you should have 4 points, boom, boom, boom. And then I don't suppose you're wrestling, dealing, grappling with any issues like that, are you? I've had sales managers go, yes, all of them. This guy one time's like, have you been listening to our sales meetings? So I'll go, yes, all of them. Hey, I hear that a lot, but if you could address one of them, if you could make one of them go away this quarter, which one would it be? And there's the magic wand, right? If you could wave a magic wand and make one of them go away this quarter, which one would it be? And the reason you pick one is because nothing's perfect. I'm not going to come in and fix everything immediately. Okay, so let's be realistic. Let's start making some progress. Okay, you're gonna lose weight, lose body fat, increase muscles, increase cardiovascular health. You're gonna run a marathon. Not only will you run your first marathon, you will set a record in your first marathon. It's like, okay, whatever. You're smoking dope. So if you could address one of those and make it go away or cut it in half in the next 90 days, which one would it be? Yeah, man, it's my technology, or I've got to hire better, or whatever. People got to get better at putting things into the CRM so we have a clear pipeline, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Why'd you pick that one? I want them to elaborate. I want them to go deeper. I'm looking for issues, for emotion. Okay. We've all done this. Hey, I only got a minute. But when it's a hot button, that minute becomes 10, becomes 30, becomes an hour. Now, I don't want that hour-long call right now. Yeah, 1 in a million. You close the deal right there because it's perfect timing. But I let them kind of emote, say, you know what? And now here's why I pull back. And I'll say, Joe, so it sounds like, hiring. It sounds like your technology. It sounds like outbound is a real issue to you. Is that fair to say? Yeah. Say, well, look, I've got another meeting coming up. I was just making a few calls before my next meeting. And this wasn't planned, of course. We didn't have anything scheduled. Would it be okay if we set, a 20, 30-minute meeting so you can be ready? I can send you more information on what I do. You can look me up. You can bring in the right personnel from your side of the house. We can have, a quick meeting, open up, I like to say open our kimonos, but that's politically incorrect. So we can just kind of open up, share what's going on. If I think I can help you, I'll outline some of the different tools, processes, ways we can work together. And then we decide what the next steps are, even if there are no next steps. Does that sound like a meeting you'd like to have? Yeah, sure. Okay. You got your calendar, book the call, and you're off and running. Okay. So, because the purpose of that cold call, that outbound call, the gold call, is not to make the sale right there. You're disqualifying prospects. You're sorting, sifting, and separating. You're not selling. You're looking for those that are looking for you. Then you set a meeting. You don't want to get them too hot and bothered, because the buyer's remorse will kick in if you do too much on that first call when they weren't ready for it. So give them time to calm down, send them the info. Now you book a firm meeting. All right. If you do that, you will not fear cold calls. You will be successful with your cold calls. You will make deeper connections and stronger relationships faster. Okay. You will close bigger deals faster. And because you opened well. And yes, I get it. Making the call does not put you in a position of strength, traditionally speaking. Because we always say you must negotiate from a position of strength. And if they're calling you, then they're in the blah, blah, blah. I'm not necessarily in need. And look, my dad always says, if you feel like you're desperate, you are. So I'm not desperate. Even if I'm behind on my numbers, I'm not desperate. I can't force that other prospect to buy from me. I don't want them to buy from me if it's wrong. So I'm looking for those that are looking for me. Do they hold all the power? Maybe. But if I have the solution for what is hurting them, ailing them, causing them to suffer turmoil, high stress, lack of numbers, frustration. Okay, maybe they have a funding issue now. They're not hitting their numbers. They're a startup, blah, blah, blah. They have all that pressure meeting the board. Who's to say they're the ones in control? I'm calling with an answer for them. Okay, so yes, I'm the one that initiated, but I never put myself below them. I am not their whipping boy. They may be a big, powerful CEO, have millions and billions of dollars. But in what I do, I'm the expert on that call. I'm the expert in the room on that topic. That's how I hold the frame. And regardless, I'm a human and they're a human. So we're peers in that regard as well. So I am never walking in or calling, hat in hand. Oh, thank you for your time. I know you're very busy. I'll make this quick. Never, ever, ever will you hear that come out of my mouth. And it should not come out of your mouth either. Okay? You have a solution for what they are looking for. So you're just looking for the guy, looking for you. All right? I hope that helped. If you have some questions, let me know. I will elaborate. Thanks for watching. I'll go sell something.